What's up everybody, Brandon Johnson here again, and today I wanted to talk about a topic that is really fun, a guitar technique known as cross-picking. And many of you are already familiar with cross-picking, and I kind of think of it as a hybrid between lead and rhythm playing. And cross-picking is not just a bluegrass guitar technique, but it's actually a technique that kind of transcends into a lot of different styles of music: jazz, rock, country. You'll hear a lot of even folk. Bob Dylan even cross-picked back in the day. And so if you haven't already, check out my video on tempo and timing, and I'll link to it here above. And go ahead and take a look at that, because a lot of the topics that I covered in that video definitely apply to cross-picking as well. And one of the all-time great cross-pickers is actually a jazz guitarist by the name of Al Di Meola. Al Di Meola is the king of syncopation and has probably one of the best right-hand techniques of any guitarist alive today. And if you study his technique, you notice that he has a very strong kind of ingrained feel for tempo. And this video is sponsored by Zager guitars. I have my Zager guitar here, my Cutaway Dreadnought, which I really love. It's a great guitar. And if you're interested in learning more, check out the link in the description to check out the full lineup of Zager guitars out of Lincoln, Nebraska. So in this video, I wanted to cover cross-picking as a topic and sort of from a beginner perspective, and kind of work our way up to maybe some more advanced material and some more advanced kind of concepts related to cross-picking. So when we think about cross-picking, fundamentally, really what it is you're playing chords, you're playing rhythm guitar, but with a lead style attack. So in other words, you're plucking individual notes while playing sort of a rhythmic style. So you could be playing a rhythm part and play cross-picking, or you could be playing like a lead part and play cross-picking as well. So it's very versatile as far as how, where you want to apply this technique. You can almost use it in any musical context. And so when you think about the term cross-picking, you're really kind of crossing over strings. That's kind of one aspect of the technique. But in its most basic form, if you look at a G chord here, we can play eighth notes, basic eighth notes, in a cross-picking style by just playing a downstroke on the open D and an upstroke on the open G. So if you kind of play that, it's kind of like a basic starting point for learning how to cross-pick. And you're just playing two open strings, but you're actually playing a G chord because those two notes are in the G chord. So if we wanted to take that a little bit further, we could actually cross over the G, right, in the truest sense of the word cross-picking, and we can play an open D and a third fret B. And we could just kind of alternate back and forth between those two. You want to play with good technique, you want to play with even subdivisions, the distance between the notes, and you want your pick volume to be very consistent. That's important, so that you can have a nice light pick attack, and that'll allow you to cross-pick effectively. So in its most basic form, that's cross-picking right there. You're playing two notes. You don't necessarily have to actually cross over strings, even though the word cross-picking sort of implies that you're doing that. But it's not strictly necessary to be crossing over strings all the time. It's just one aspect of this technique. Now we can also combine those two patterns, right? We can play our open D, our open G, and then we can go to our open D and our third fret B, and we can alternate between those two. So that's kind of a basic little cross-picking pattern that you could use over a G chord. So let's play that to the metronome and kind of build up the speed a little bit so you can get yourself cross-picking over these four notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And of course, you can reverse the order of that as well. So we could start with the open D and then play the 3rd fret B and then go D to G, and we could do it that way as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And so, of course, there we're playing alternating picking. So we're playing downstrokes, upstrokes, downstrokes, upstrokes. And so what is the kind of essential motion of the right hand when it comes to cross picking? So you can do basic alternating picking, which is down, up, down, up, down, up. You can do up, down, up, down, up, down. Or you can do double downstrokes and double upstrokes. If you're doing a double downstroke, you're going to be playing a down, down, up, and you're going to be ascending, so you're going to be going from the low to the high register. And then if you're playing an up, up, down, you're going to be descending. So you're going to be playing from the upper register to the lower register. So those are kind of the 4 types of pick motion that you'll want to learn in order to cross pick. So now we can take that exact same pattern and we can apply it to a C chord using the same strings, of course a different fingering. We're going to be playing a C chord. And if we wanted to do that over a C chord, we could play 2nd fret D, 1st fret B, 2nd fret D, open G. We're just holding our C chord here. We're playing that kind of that same cross picking pattern that we played over the G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So that's a basic cross-picking pattern that you could play over a C major chord. So now let's practice moving from the G to the C chord while cross-picking out that same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So really you can cross pick like that over any chord, and you can create kind of your own combination of notes to your liking, or depending on what you're trying to get across as an instrumentalist and what you're trying to translate to the audience. So experiment with other chords as well. Try a D chord, try an F chord. An F chord is another really fun one to cross pick over. And just kind of try to create those 2-note patterns to get yourself used to kind of that cross picking motion. So we just played 2 notes per string over the G and the C chord. Let's take a look at 3-note per string cross-picking patterns now. And this time we'll play 16th notes, so we'll kind of condense it a little bit more, increase the speed a little bit, and increase the difficulty a little bit as well. So for this exercise over the G chord, we're going to be playing just an alternating picking pattern here. Over the open D, open G, and 3rd fret B. Of course, I'm playing just a standard G chord shape here. And we're just going to kind of play that 3-note pattern with alternating picking. What you'll notice there is, since it's 3 notes, you're going to be playing a downstroke on the open D, an upstroke on the open G, and then a downstroke on that 3rd fret B. But then when you return back to that open D, you're going to be on an upstroke. So it's going to be a down, up, down, and then an up, down, up. And you're going to kind of alternate that way through those 3 notes over the G chord. And it's kind of a cool little exercise to sort of build your dexterity. It helps with developing cross-picking technique, but it also helps to build your dexterity in your right hand. So let's play that pattern now to the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And of course, we can play that same pattern over the C chord again. And over the C chord, you'd be playing a 2nd fret D, open G, 1st fret B. Let's play this over the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So now let's practice moving from the G to the C chord like we did before, using this 3-note alternating picking pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And so what you'll notice there is when we use alternating picking over that particular pattern, you're going to get a nice, smooth, kind of cascading sound. And you can actually take that exact same pattern of notes, and you can apply the double downstroke technique to it. And that's something that you'll hear Tony Rice do a lot. And it creates kind of a more percussive attack type of a sound, as opposed to a smooth cascading sound that we created with the alternating picking. So let's play that exact same pattern now, except this time we're going to be playing our double downstrokes. So a downstroke on the open D, a downstroke on the open G, and then an upstroke on that 3rd fret B. And then we're just going to repeat that to get our double downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do that same double downstroke pattern over our C chord. So we're going to be starting on the D string again, 2nd fret D, downstroke, downstroke, open G, and then upstroke, 1st fret B. One, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So now, like we did before, let's play the G into the C chord using that 3-note cross-picking pattern with the double downstroke picking technique. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Of course, we can also do double downstrokes if we're descending, right? So we can play that exact same pattern by playing an upstroke, upstroke, open G, and then a downstroke on that open D. So that might be another technique that you could use in your cross-picking as well. Of course, we can do that over the C chord by playing an upstroke on the 1st fret B, upstroke, open G, and then your downstroke on that 2nd fret D. So let's practice moving from the G to the C using double upstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So those are kind of some of the fundamental techniques that'll give you a starting point for how to play cross-picking. We talked about 2-note cross-picking patterns, 3-note cross-picking patterns. And we talked about alternating picking, double downstrokes, and double upstrokes. We also talked about how to move between chords. So you can kind of take these concepts and explore them further by applying them to different chord changes, right? You could go from a C to an F, you could go from a G to a D. There's really an endless combination of chord changes and cross-picking patterns that you can kind of experiment with. So anyways, that should give you a pretty good starting point for learning how to cross-pick. And of course, the possibilities and the combinations and the patterns, the cross-picking patterns you can come up with are nearly endless, which is one of the things that makes guitar so fun, is that you can really use your creative energy to make your own patterns and make your own songs as well. So thanks for checking out this lesson today. If you enjoyed it, definitely drop me a like. Subscribe to my channel for more bluegrass guitar content. And also head on over to my website, brandonjohnsonguitar.com, if you're interested in signing up for the All Access membership, which will give you access to every lesson that I've ever made, every backing track, and every single tab sheet as well. So anyways, that's all for today, guys, and we'll see you next time.